Andy Johnson here, author of the book Academic Writing. This short video will focus on how to describe research. Now, these descriptions can be used in all parts of your academic writing, but most often they're used in a formal literature review. Descriptions of research are also used in preparing an annotated bibliography and in writing research proposals. And finally, looking for and understanding these elements will be helpful in your own analysis and understanding of research. So, when describing research, what should we include? These things in this order. First thing, question or purpose of the study. One sentence to describe the research question or the study purpose. Then the subjects or participants. Use as few sentences as possible, usually 1 to 3. Describe the subjects or participants. Include the number of subjects or participants and any relevant demographic information and any other characteristics that are germane to the study, such as age, SES, educational levels, etc., etc. The third thing, the treatment criteria or conditions. For quantitative studies, describe the independent variable. This would be the approach, the treatment, or the element that the researcher was trying to manipulate or isolate. For descriptive research, describe the criteria used to select the various data used for analysis. And for qualitative research, describe the general setting, the environment, or the conditions in which the data were observed or collected. Then, the measures or instruments. Describe what data were collected. This would be the dependent variable, how they were collected, and what was used to collect them. Then, the research or findings. Describe the relevant results in a quantitative study or finding in a qualitative study. All right? Findings. Results, quantitative study. Findings, qualitative study. Also describe in very general terms what the results or findings might mean. And then, there is no such thing as the perfect study. If there are significant limitations to the study, these should be described. Now let's look at an example of how to describe research. Fruit. This study describes 2 studies related to fruit. These are made up. Manning examined the effects of pomegranates on working memory. For the study, 57 subjects were chosen from a pool of 150 college students and randomly assigned to either treatment or control group. The treatment group ate 3 pomegranates each day for 27 weeks. The control group ate no pomegranates. Both groups took the Dabrowski memory test as a post-treatment measure. It was found that the experimental group scored significantly higher than the non-pomegranate control group in this measure. It may be inferred that pomegranates may have a positive effect on memory. That is one study. You notice it has all these elements in it. The Bridgewater study, the same thing. And since this is the fruit section of my lit review, summary of the fruit studies. Bananas have shown to positively affect memory, and nectarines appear to have, you get the idea. Okay. Now here's a more complicated study. Winston and Mary Ota study. All right. Now, a study may produce a variety of results, but only include the results that are germane to your writing topic. Winston and Marietta compared the effectiveness of an instructional program related to small group study strategies to an instructional program related to individual study skills on students' learning, as well as the acquisition and transfer of skills. Okay, notice, purpose of the study. Got it? Right? The subjects for the study consisted of 227 first-year college students enrolled in All right, that would be my subjects or participants. Okay. 3 separate sections of each course were taught by the same instructor to 2 different treatment groups, 1 control group, instruction and practice for the treatment, 45-minute sessions spread over 50 weeks. Specially trained course content was used for instructional. Okay, so we're seeing now we're getting into the treatment criteria or conditions. All right. Treatment group A was given instruction and activities that taught strategies for studying impaired. Treatment 2, okay, no extra stress. Okay, now the dependent variables, measures or instruments. Dependent variables consisted of average scores on course exams to assess learning over time. Students were tracked over the next 3 semesters. You get the idea. All right, this is how you do it. And then the results are findings. And then any limitations. All right. Now, 3 things to keep in mind when describing research. Thing number 1, first, to be able to, to effectively describe a study, you have to have a good understanding of all its components. Now, I use a strategy when reading a study. I use a simple template like the one shown on the screen here. Now, as I read the study, I record the important information using enumerations or outlines or some such things. This helps me comprehend as I am reading the study. And reading research takes practice. You cannot read research like you read a textbook. You cannot read research like you read a Harry Potter book. You have to read research looking for these specific things. What's the question or purpose of the study? Participants, treatment, you get the idea. The second big idea here, keep in mind that you're writing to an audience who has no familiarity with the study. So you have to assume the reader knows nothing. That means you have to have a very clear and concise idea, a clear and concise description. Too many words can confuse readers as much as too few words. You don't have to replicate all aspects of the studies, but you should accurately represent the salient features. And the last thing, notice the language that's used in describing results. Results for research are usually reported using soft terms such as suggests or seems to indicate or provide support for, maybe, or points to. Rarely will you see terms like proves or shows that or verifies, validates, confirms, or demonstrates. And this is because research does not prove anything to be true. Experimental research supports or does not support a null hypothesis, or it answers a specific research question. Qualitative research leads to a greater understanding of people, places, events, situations, and experience. Each bit of research identifies certain elements that can be used to support, expand, or add to the larger theoretical dot-to-dot pictures. Theories are designed to evolve and eventually become obsolete as new information is discovered and new theories emerge. So again, when describing a research study in an annotated bibliography, or if you're going to include it in a lit review, question or purpose, subjects, participants, treatment criteria, conditions, measures or instruments, results, findings, and then limitations. This is chapter 24 in my book, Describing Research, Academic Writing Process and Product.